Hey, welcome back. This is a second video from me, Copy Paste Soul, for Sonic Academy. So in the last video we started off a rough idea with some pads and stuff which sounded a bit like this. Nice and simple, but got a nice little vibe to it. So what I thought I'd start by showing you on this video is a bit of a killer trick that I use a lot, and I am not whether I was going to share this little nugget, but I will, because this is what this is all about. Spreading the love and giving you guys something that might help you in your kind of production and creative process. So this chord structure that I have here, as I said, was from a sample. So these samples are already in a chord format, which gives it that nice full sound. But sometimes it's nice to know what makes up that chord. Now, unless you're kind of very musical, it sometimes can be tricky to work out the elements that are in a single chord. Now, I can sit down and do that, but I found a much quicker way. And because I am quite lazy and like to do things quickly and don't like kind of faffy stuff to get in the way of the creative juices, I use a plugin that really helps. So there's a plugin called Melodyne. Now, most people would associate this with vocal editing, and it's very powerful in using that. I use it for something completely different, and I'm going to show you now. So what I've done is I've put it onto my machine channel that has the chords that we put in last time. I'm going to bypass the filter, and what I'm going to do is I am going to just take one of the chords, and I'll show you what it does. So for this, I'm going to mute those ones. I just want to hear this first one. So this transfer button here, I'm just going to hit transfer, and then when I press play, it's going to do something. Watch. Okay, so what it's done is it's played the pad through its clever stuff, and it's basically broken down the chords or the notes that make up this chord. So very easily I can see the main notes. Now it's got little bits and bobs in there because, you know, it can be a variety of stuff. So I will base it around the main ones that I can see it's hitting there, and I'll show you what I do. So just in another channel, I'm going to right click and create an empty MIDI region, and then I'm just going to copy what I've got here. So it says the first note is an F. So by hitting Apple, I get my pen up to draw a MIDI note. So where are we? We're on C3 is there, so it's the F below. So it's this one here. Chuck one in there. Hang on, let's go a channel down. That's got something else on it. And then I just draw them in. So we've got F, then we go up to C3. Then we have, I'll put the F in again, but it might not need it. We've got an A flat there. B flat or G sharp, whatever you want to call it, A sharp rather, and then the top E flat as well. So we put that in there. So those 6 notes make up the basis of what that original pad sound was. So then what I'll do is I'll just chuck in a simple plugin like the EXS24, because I know it has some very simple rich pad sounds. I'm just going to go to the factory setting. And I'm going to go to Synth Pads, and I'm going to go to a standard one that I know has a good range, soft pad. I'm going to turn the filter down a little bit, and I'm going to solo the channel and just see if we're in the same ballpark. I'm going to mute the Melodyne as well so it doesn't play back, because it will play back those ones that I've got in there. And let's have a listen, see if it sounds anywhere near. Okay, it's a nice sounding chord. It's obviously a bit higher octave wise, but that doesn't matter at all. So let's drop this down an octave. Okay, let's open the filter up a bit. So that, and so you can hear it's not exactly identical, but it's got the core of the sound that I had. So if I then open up my MIDI box, let's go unmute these bad boys. And then I'm just going to copy the pattern. So because it's a chord, I can just take that whole chord and move it up and down. Let's move this up a little bit so we can see what we're doing. So we've got, so the first note, let me have a look, go back to this. So C3. So I'll just take the C note here. I'm just going to base it on here and then copy the pattern here. So it goes C and then it goes to the D sharp. So let's do that. So we go C to the, oh, grab this one, C to the D sharp. Like that. Let's put it in the right place. So that triggers there. Like that. Extend these ones. Then we go down one. Oh, let's get them all. So it's a bit of copy and pasting at the moment. Copy, paste, soul. Yeah, stupid. Where are we? No, back one. I tend to push a lot of my notes. So what I mean by that is rather than them coming in smack on the bars, they come in just a little bit before. It kind of gives that nice rhythmic kind of slightly off kilter vibe that I like, and it's a big part of my sound. So it's basically the same. Let's just extend that to the end of the bar. So it's the same pattern again, except the last note was a few notes higher. Which one was it? Yep, okay. So it was that. So let's have a listen to the new one on its own. Okay, so you can see really simply there, by using the excellent Melodyne plugin, it broke down the notes that were in the chord without me having to do any fiddling around on a piano or trying to work out gradually what the chord is. So basically it's a big time saver, and especially for any of you guys out there who struggle to find kind of melodic parts. So a lot of people come to me and I work with people in the studios, and a lot of people can write beats, a lot of people can make a bass line, but in terms of depth and making good kind of melodic elements, they struggle. This is a great way to get it working, get it right, get it really quickly. And it also inspires other ideas because you can move things around and very quickly you can make your own little thing. So highly recommended. So let's get rid of that now. Now this is also a double whammy, if you like, because not only have I now got the parts that make up a chord, it's also a big part of what I do. I put a lot of arpeggios in my tracks. So now I've got all the elements that I need to make a really nice arpeggio. So I'll show you that and give you an example of what that does. So I'm going to open up another plugin in here. And for this, I generally go to one of my favourite groups of plugins called Strobe. And the reason for this is because the arpeggio function in this is brilliant. Now you can put it on any sound here, but what I'm actually going to do is open the same plugin up, but in the host plugin that comes in this group of plugins, which is called Fuser. And this has some really clever stuff in the arpeggio section. So I'm going to load a synth in here. So you can have up to 3 synths here playing alongside each other for layered sounds. I'm going to put the strobe in. And then in the strobe, I'm going to just select, okay, let's just select one of the sounds I've already done before. If I flick through a couple of these, the Want It ARP, so this is one of my first tracks called Want It, and now this will now play as a nice ARP once I've done some stuff. So I'm going to now go into a section called the Animator, and you can see here it's broken down into 16 parts for a standard 16 ARP kind of pattern. So if I play that, you'll hear it. So by using the Melodyne plugin on the original sample that I had, I broke down the chord into notes. So I've now got the individual notes on a separate channel that are now playing a lovely, well, they give me a great bass to play a lovely ARP. Now I don't usually just use a very standard 16 step ARP, which is exactly what I played you there. So it goes over 16 steps and is quite a standard formula. what I nearly always do is I change the step amount. I drop it down to an odd number, say for example 7. So rather than looping bars of 4 or 8 or 16, it's looping in a bar of 7. So it still stays in time, but the progression of the sound changes. Now, if I just press play now, you won't notice any difference. But what I also will do in this section here is I will drop notes out. So these blue tabs at the bottom here allow me to punch in or punch out different notes. So if I take a couple out, you'll hear. It just provides a slightly different edge on what's going on. And then another nice little thing is you can see we've got pitch, velocity and gate. The pitch part here is if I drag this up here, that will now play a higher note as well. So you can hear already that it's kind of adding some variety and some interest in. And I just muck around with it. I'll find different notes that work or don't work. Great thing about it as well is you can then just use all the regular filters and stuff that are on the plugin. So if I play that alongside the pad, for example, let's see how it kind of fits. It should all be nicely in key. So that is already sounding quite rich and kind of a thick layer of stuff, and basically it's just 2 sounds, but it's because it's been broken down into different parts. The great thing as well about using this function in this particular plugin is that the effects that I have in Animator, so these different bits that I've arranged in here, they now will apply to any sound that I put through this synth. And I hear things like that, and then you start to go, okay, this could turn into like some weird bass line. So I can just drop the octave here down to 12 semitones down, so it's a whole octave down. Play it again. And let's see what that sounds like with the original sample pad thing. So you can hear quite quickly how you can get that kind of rawish, warm sound that I'm always going for just by using some simple little tricks. So when I come back for the next video, we'll start to look at the key elements of some of the beats and stuff that I'll put in. So until then, I've been Copy Paste Soul, and I will catch you soon.